Okay, welcome everyone to the Coffee Connect today, today's eighth session. So we already have 4 questions listed. Let's get started with the first question. Oh, okay, we could see already 2 likes. Nice. Good. Okay, so first question. You are in Scrum Master role, aiming for Agile Coach role, but you see openings for Project Manager and Scrum Master. How to apply or justify? Interesting question, and it is expected. And who would like to take it up? Folks, you can guess any of you joining new. This is the first time. This forum is open for everyone. You can feel free to ask the questions. At the same time, feel free to answer the questions as well. Answer in the sense, this is not a theoretical pattern, right? So share your experiences or what do you feel, what do you think about it. That way we all learn among ourselves. Okay. So
Yeah.
who would like to go?
Can
Yes.
I?
Sure.
Okay. This is Suchitra here. So,
Mhm.
even I observed there are a lot of openings coming up for both project manager and Scrum. So, like I feel today, with only a Scrum Master certification, that will not help us. So, as a community or as a forum, we need to be prepared for both the roles. Well, I'm not discouraging the rest of them, but since I tried and I couldn't get a Scrum Master opening only, I moved up with PMP. So what is happening? It looks like every organization is looking for a hybrid project role. I mean, a hybrid model of developing the project. Maybe they would like to go in a waterfall model, but sometimes it may be necessary to switch on to the agile mode. So thereby, we see that it is as a community or as a forum, we need to be updated and upskilled such that we are able to manage both in a hybrid mode as well as a Scrum Master. So safe, yes, say organizations are also going for safe. I'm not saying no, that will be Scrum of Scrums. So from a project manager, that means PMP, a Scrum Master certification, as well as a safe certification would be a good catch for everybody in this community. I don't know how many of you all would agree with me and how many of you all would oppose me, because that is what I'm seeing. Some organizations are looking for PMP as well as Scrum Master certification. Some are looking at Scrum Master and safe certification. So those of you who are already in a Scrum Master role, who are already playing, I think it is better. I would take suggestions from them whether we need to upgrade ourselves to a safe certification and PMP. And those who are already PMP certified, let us know whether we need to do safe certification and Scrum Master certification. These are my thoughts. Thank you.
Thanks. Who would like to go next?
Satish, I just want to share my views on this.
Sure.
Okay. All right. If a person is aiming for an agile coach role, but there are openings for project manager and scrum master, first of all, your profile. I agree with Suchitra what she mentioned that we have to obtain the certification. But again, if you consider PMP or any other certification, right, it consumes time. But for an individual, if he or she is aiming for an agile coach role, his profile should have should actually talk about that he has a knowledge on scaling of agile, uh, uh, and also it should show that he has a profound knowledge on the Scrum Master experience plus a bit of project manager. That is what I can share my views on this.
Thanks,
Yes,
Danya.
certification will add value, but meanwhile, the profile should talk well what exactly is aiming for. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thanks, Danya. Who would like to go next?
Can I share something, Satish?
Sure, sure.
Thank you, Dhanya and Suchitra, for sharing your thoughts. So I would like to say that if you are already a Scrum Master, then we have to think that what are the different positions to grow from a Scrum Master role with the cross scaling to a different role. So what I learned or what I saw that after Scrum Master, there are different paths which we can select or go through, and they are like Agile Technical Coach or Senior Scrum Master or Product Owner. And after that, when you when you get more skilled, right, then you can also try for Enterprise Agile Coach, Line Manager or Engineering Manager, RTE, that is Release Train Engineer or Product Manager, right? So these are the paths which you can go after Scrum Master role, right? But again, if you are not seeing that uh, role available in the market, right, and you are seeing only the project manager or Scrum Master role are available, no Agile Coach role available, then you have to, right, uh, see other platform, right, where this kind of positions are already available. Project manager and Scrum Master somehow are not similar, right? What I So if you are talking about technical project manager and Scrum Master, I can agree. But if you are saying only the project manager and Scrum Master, then after PMP, these are the two different roles, right? So first you have to decide where you want to go. If you want to go to a project manager, then definitely you have to go through PMP. But if you want to make a career in Scrum Master, right, and you are going ahead with the Scrum Master role to a Agile Coach, then you have to go through, like, there are so many other certifications like Safe Agile, right, or different Agile coaching platform also there. So instead of saying that which one I will select or justify, first we need to think where I want to go, and based on that I have to prepare myself, right? And then again I will go to certification, but certification is just for the preferred one, right? By end of the day, experience and knowledge matters. So first acquired proper knowledge, right, get some experience, and then it will definitely help the certification part. So that's what I want to say here. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Aki. Anyone else who would like to go for this
Yeah.
question?
Hi, Satish. This is Sumalata here.
Hi, Sumnata.
Yeah, hi everyone. I just wanted to share my 2 cents here, and also the thing is, most of the Scrum Masters, right, working for some years in Scrum Master role, think that Agile Coach is the only next path or the next level. So I just
Mm-hmm.
want to understand that's a myth actually. It is not that every Scrum Master you can be a Scrum Master forever also, in the sense, just because Agile Coach are little paid higher, or everybody thinks that way. But I just want your insights also. How do you feel? But it is not that the next level to Scrum Master is Agile Coach only, and also not everybody wants to Agile be can be a Agile Coach also. It's again the preference, and it is not everyone's cup of tea to become a coach. So that's where I just wanted to add that. As I say also, the Scrum Master is at the end. You are at the crossroad, and there are multiple ways that each one can choose on their expertise and experience. Whether it is a product manager, or if you want to get a side with product line, or if you want to get a engineering manager, or if you want to be a people manager or a project manager and all. I know it is very diversified and it is not easy. Everyone are sailing in the same boat, and for every one of us to choose, right, what is next, what should I be doing next? Because I myself being a Scrum Master for more than 10 years now, close to 10 years, so I will also be wondering what should I be doing next. That's where, I mean, just for the monetary gain, you should change companies or you should get into agile coach role. Or that's where, I mean, not everybody's scrum master should aspire to be a agile coach. Or it is not that. That's where, I mean, people think, and also organizations, right? I just wanted to add this also. There are not many organizations are luxurious enough to have agile coach roles, and also they think that it is a short term role. I mean, they just want some desired output or some trainings to happen at all levels, even for the leadership or enterprise level. So I mean, agile coach roles keep coming and going from the external consultant. So having in-house agile coach, right? It's again a I mean, it's again an economic factor how the enterprise looks at it. So having permanent agile coach role, and also, and there are many organizations, right? They will be the first one. I mean, in the time of crisis. So how do you see that not everybody will get an agile coach role, and not every organization or an enterprise will be well enough to have those roles? So, I mean, as a scrum master with experience and expertise, you also have to, as everybody was telling, right, to venture out or experiment new things. I mean, to see what all they can do. I mean, whether to get into a project managerial role or a product managerial role, or getting into a product line and all. Yeah. It's not easy, but everybody has their own preference, and it takes some time to understand each one's. I mean, it's again case to case basis. It differs. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Sumalata. Okay. Yes. Yes, Subbu.
Satish, can I add? Okay, like I
Sure.
joined a bit late, so probably I have listened to last 2 or 3 responses. I'm just putting some information from my experience with at least like 3 to 4 organizations, and also with the experience of working with HR in at least 2 organizations for the career path of agile roles. Okay, I worked in at least 2 organizations wherein I have worked with HR in creating career path for the for the agile role. So with that experience, I am putting my thought process from both the sides, like from the agile perspective and also from the expectations perspective, right? So most of the times, the problem is the roles and responsibilities of the Scrum Master, as per the Scrum Guide, are not as is in every organization. Right? Like if you guys look at it, there is always a overlap of the Scrum Master and probably like the Agile Coach roles or the Scrum Master role with the project manager, program manager, and delivery role. So there is always a constant friction between all these roles, and that's the reason why like probably organizations are looking for hybrid roles. So that's the first point. And the second thing is value delivery most of the times. So as someone rightly said, I think Sumalata, like probably working as a Scrum Master for 8 years or 9 years, it's not a problem. But then most of the times, what is happening is, whenever like probably people talk about what is the value delivery you bought, I'm bringing some real life examples wherein there were some Scrum Masters who were working for the same teams for at least like 5 or 6 years. Right. So when someone comes and asks you like, hey, what is the value delivery you bought as a Scrum Master? When you are working for the same teams, or like probably if you yourself are not able to showcase your value delivery at any point of time, like probably it could be anything relevant to the organizational objectives and goals. Like I'm not going against the organization, but we have to be very open here that every organizations have different patterns of agile implementation and transformation and their expectations and their OKRs, right? So we cannot expect like everybody will be having the same level of like maturity, and then they will be measuring or guarding the Scrum Masters or agile roles in the same way. So that may not happen. So that value delivery at any point of time, probably as a Scrum Master or as an agile coach or in any agile roles, we should be able to showcase it at regular intervals in terms of like the maturity of the teams. Maybe like the Tuckman's model we can use, telling like we have migrated these many teams from point A to point B, or the like the feature cycle time has reduced or something has improved. Like probably whatever that matters to that case, because most of the times every other role they will be showcasing their value, but in many cases from the HR side, this is what I heard from the HR side. When they are looking at the value delivery from the agile roles, people are reluctant to showcase anything. They say like, we are not responsible for it. So that's the reason why like probably the roles of agile roles are diminishing. Along, there are many other reasons. I agree, like probably people with just certification are coming into these roles, and then they are actually diluting the impact of these roles. That's a bigger case. But from a HR perspective, like they are trying to find out if there is any value delivery incrementally, or probably like whatever we consider from the agile roles, they are not able to visualize that properly. So that's the reason why either they are trying to combine the roles and responsibilities, or they are trying to like probably diminish the value of these roles, and then they are putting it for as a optional role sort of thing. So these are absolutely certain inputs which I got from HR. So from this thing, like we in one of the organizations, we try to bifurcate and then at least see that the overlap of the responsibilities is actually clearly defined for these things. But then in most of the organizations, this is again the problem, because whenever I speak to any Scrum Master, they say like some teams are having a Scrum Master and a project manager who are both doing the same job. Like there is a constant friction, and that is actually becoming a bigger issue at some level, at some point of time, because both the people are like trying to help the teams, and then both are trying to remove the impediments, and both say like we are working on this, and that's the reason why like there is a constant friction between these roles, and that is one of the major reasons why they are trying to combine 2 or 3 roles for at least when it comes to agility. These are just my observations and thoughts, and probably like it might be relevant to any of the scenarios in your team or in your organizations or not, but these are just my observations. Probably you can add some things if you want.
Thanks, Subbu. Thanks, Danya, Suchitra, Sumalata, Sakir, for adding your points. So before moving ahead, one point from my side, right? So the reason, I mean, adding up or summing up all the pointers which the folks mentioned till now, one of the reason why these two roles are coming together is like, especially in the service companies, if you look at it, right? So a typical pure project management role is coming down. The same is the case with the Scrum Master as well. So there is a reason organizations might be looking for these two roles together, so that they can get the billing from the client as well, from the project implementation perspective. That could be one of the reason why the project manager and Scrum Master openings are coming up more. The next question is like aiming for Agile Coach role, but see openings of project manager and Scrum Master itself. As we go higher in the hierarchy, the number of opportunities or the number of roles might become less. I see. 2 to 3 teams, one Scrum Master, like that. If we start scaling up, right, to the next level Agile Coach, or maybe Enterprise Agile Coach, our organization might be having only one Enterprise Agile Coach for the entire enterprise. When we have 20-30 Scrum Masters, that doesn't mean all 20-30 might be becoming or scaling up to the Enterprise Agile Coach level itself, right? So that's where taking a look at the other next set of roles also might be relevant from the current context. Are we good? Shall we go ahead? Okay. Okay, so next, Rajeev's question. I'm a PMP, BSM2, Safe Scrum Master 6.0. Shall I go for program management? I mean, PGMP or Agile Coach or RTE? Floor is open. Who would like to go first?
It's the same thing. Basically, there are 2 thoughts in this one, Satish, from my side, basically, because and the main one is Jana, to keep myself relevant for the market. As you said that, and many other people also said that now that market is like they want one person to become a project manager as well as a Scrum Master. So that is the reason why I did the certification and taken experience also, job experience also in both waterfall methodologies and Scrum methodologies or Agile, frameworks basically. But progress is another thing. I have to, think in from the progress point of view, career progression point of view also, as well as keeping myself relevant for the market also. So this is what is a dilemma, is that which is becoming more and more relevant in the coming days. Whether it is a PGMP, which will be more marketable, or some agile coaching, or being RT. So maybe some other forum members can share their thoughts.
Yeah, hi everyone. Sumalata here again. So yeah, as it is said, right? I mean, it's all the demand and supply, and some positions, right, are very rare to find again. I mean, if you become an RTE, for example, you have to look for another RTE role with a higher monetary gain, or that CTC or whatever you call, right? I mean, it would be really difficult that every organization, not everybody will be on safe model also. Not every organization will work on safe. There will be just Scrum also, right? There could be Scrum or Kanban, other modes of Agile. So you have to find a place. The next role would be really difficult. After 2 years, obviously, you will still start feeling monotonous. I have been playing for RTE for 2 years now. What next? So, I mean, as I say, I mean, you are just this crossroad functionality, right? I mean, in the sense, we are there at, I mean, you at every point as a Scrum Master, you have some other way. I mean, whether to become a product owner or to become get into a product management or a project management or RTE, and also you take certification experience and you become RTE, and after next 2 years, you will still land up with the same question: what next? 2 to 3 years RTE role, right? What next? I mean, not every again the positions with the experience will lessen as you go higher the ladder, right? It will surely diminish. But yeah, all three parts are good only. I mean, whether you want to become a project manager or an agile coach or RTE, I mean, it all depends on your preference and your opportunity that you are able to secure such an. I mean, if you are able to crack interview and get that position, so that's where, I mean, I was just say, I mean, even if you become agile coach or RTE, and the question doesn't end there. After down the line, I mean, I meant to say another 2 years or 3 years down the line, you will still have this crossroad question. I mean, what next? Yeah, others can add. Thank you.
Rajeev, this is regarding the certification, right? You are referring to program management certification from PMI. Am I audible?
Hello.
Am I audible? Vijay, you are audible. Okay, so I think the question from Rajeev is more to understand whether he wants to pursue RT certification or Agile Coach certification or program management from PMI. Is that right, Rajeev? If that is the case, like even so, what my feeling is like program management certification is something that globally few thousands have accomplished so far, and RTE like program management from PMI is relatively more time consuming and more difficult compared to RTE or any other course certification. So obviously we need to consider the level of effort involved, and also I'm not sure like in how many job descriptions like they are explicitly calling out for a program management certification from PMI, but PMP is definitely asked. So the return of investment is something that we may need to consider, and what kind of growth we are trying to achieve. So, but definitely, like from knowledge perspective and marketability standpoint, like program management certification, I feel would be more kept valued and kept on higher pedestal compared to Agile Coach or RT at this point in time? Because this is something that even I'm looking at. So I'm also PMP and I've done all the other SAFe and RT certification, but I'm just even I'm researching on whether I can pursue program management. So definitely that will give a good head start, because like the prerequisite for program management certification is also like very stringent. Like they ask you to furnish like almost like close to 6-7 years of project management and 4-5 years of program management experience. So it involves audit review and then an examination. So if you ask me, the level of effort involved in accomplishing the program management certification is high, but I think it is worth to give a try. Thanks, Vijay. Thanks, Sumlata. Anyone else want to add?
Yeah. From my side, I just want to add one thing. So,
Sure.
Rajeev, like, did you get a chance to look at any of the LinkedIn or probably any job opportunities relevant to RTE and like program managers sort of thing?
Program manager, yes. RTE, like the lady was explaining, very rarely I saw that they
Yeah.
are looking
So
for
that
RTE.
absolutely. So that itself is the answer I can say. Because I would like to say, like, when as someone rightly said, Vijay, I guess return on investment, if you look at it, RTE certification costs a bit huge. And if you consider the job opportunities exclusively for RTE, I could say like they are very rarely being asked. But at least for program managers, I can say like the ask is a bit more when compared to RTE. And when you say like agile coaches, I have seen like people are asking for a hybrid roles and responsibilities along with agile coaching. Purely agile coaching, I have seen some organizations are still asking. I don't want to deny the fact. There are some organizations who are actually asking, like, we just want only agile coaches who would be helping the organizations in the agile transformation and nothing else. But they are all, the calls are also very rare, and comparatively, if you are looking at the monetary benefits, I don't mind exposing it. The paycheck they are trying to look for is around 30 to 35, not more than that. So if you are like
For agile coach, you mean to say?
for a pure agile coach.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that is the thing. RTE, they are ready to pay huge, but definitely I would like to say in Hyderabad, chances are very less. I have seen, I'm talking about the data from the last 5 to 6 months from multiple groups related to job opportunities. Okay. And before that, or probably in future, I can't predict, but I am telling, at least for the last 6 months, I have seen at least two, not more than two, asking for an RTE role. That too, they are somewhere in Bangalore and one is in Noida. I guess. So,
right. The same thing. I also have the same experience about RTE. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have too many roles open for it. But then the pay would be good. But I would like to say, like, the people asking for explicit RTE roles are very less, and pure agile coach roles are also very less. So for program managers, absolutely, you are people are asking for a combination of program manager plus agile project manager sort of thing, some sort of combination they are asking. If you are looking for to strike a balance, you can be focusing more on program management side with some relevant experience towards agility. That might be a good choice. That's my personal opinion. I might be right or wrong, but that's my personal opinion.
No,
Small
thank you. Thanks. I
clarification.
appreciate your input.
Small clarification here, Satish or anybody. You're saying that an RT is paid more than an agile coach. Is it what I've observed? I mean, is it correct observation?
I just said like probably from the job profiles, whatever they have offered.
And it's a general statement, I believe, because see, it depends on the organization also. All right, and it depends on the agile coach also at what level he's working. So if there is some enterprise level agile coach working in, let's say, some multinational, big multinational like Microsoft or Google, definitely. And on the other side, RTE is working on some local Indian company. Definitely, Google will be paying higher, yeah, for two Agile coach. So these are general statement, I believe. And as per the specific job and position and company, this will change. So this is just general how the market is behaving to most of the things. That's what I understood.
And just to add on one more point is right now, the organizations are not explicitly asking for RTE as a role. Again, going back to the previous question, the Scrum Master and Project Manager combination, how it is coming up. Similar way, RTE and Program Manager roles are coming up together. Or more than RTE, they are asking for a Program Manager as a role. Right. So we need to take a look at what is the ask of the organizations for different roles and what certifications they are asking. Accordingly, we can take a next step. This is for everyone.
Right. Okay, thank you all.
And for program management, going back to your question, Rajeev, program management, right? So take a look at the, the requirements from the PMI website. I was going through it other day. So take a look at it. Make sure you reach out to any mentor to get your application reviewed before submitting, because I heard a lot of rejections or a lot of clarifications coming up at the application level itself for program management, a PGMP, right? So make sure if in case any point, this is for everyone, right? If in case you're planning to go for a program management certification from PMI, make sure the application and the details, everything is thoroughly verified by a new mentor. Only then we go ahead and submit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Noted.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you all.
Sure.
So on a lighter note, from the last two discussions we had, we need to have one program management certification, two agile certifications, and one safe certification. So that the resume looks complete. And for the organizations also, it is good for them because they more or less like that is what they are expecting.
You have been
like
an HR, so keep some job openings for us.
It's like Subbu, it's like a medical store. Bring your prescription. I have everything.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, not a joke, but then, I mean, the organization, when the organization expectations are like that, probably like some agile coaching, I think like ICP, ENT, or like ACC from those two, and from SAFE, like SAFE 6 Scrum Master or ASM, and probably like I know like PMP, PMI, PMP is a bit tough, but then still having that is like a safe bet nowadays. If not like, I mean, if someone can do ICF, PCC and all, like Satish, it is the absolutely brilliant thing. But I have never seen organizations asking for it. At least we should thank them. Like they are restricting themselves to some base level certifications in Agile and Scrum. So at least like probably, I think like this is what I understood.
Good cover up.
And then, yeah, if anybody is looking for PMI, PMP, just let me know. Even I am looking for it. We can come and join.
We can
and then
form a batch, cohort.
Yeah, we can form a
Anybody
batch.
interested in PGMP, then please, we can work together. PGMP.
Yes.
The problem is,
Nice.
the
To the
problem is
forum,
there
I
are
just
no
wanted
people.
to say, I recently acquired my PMP certification, and if anyone would want any suggestion or guidance, I can share my experience as well.
Tanya, right?
Tanya,
Yes, Subha. Yes,
Yeah, sure. I'll reach out to you.
I can
definitely.
also help Subbu. I am also PMP certified.
Thank you. Oh, that's nice.
For a
This is
change,
what
me
the
also.
community is. This is what the community is all about.
For a change, I am
Coming
also
together in
PMP.
Good. It
Nice,
seems like
nice,
I am
nice.
I am the only guy left in this group.
So Rajeev, Vijay Kumar, I mean Velumani Vijay Kumar mentioned he's also planning to take PGMP. So we will form a group and we will start working on that part.
Satish, you
Sure.
are entering PGMP also.
I'm just
Leave
looking
some
at
certification in the market, dude.
Satish, leave something.
Yes,
Ah.
I'm leaving some time for the questions. Let's come back.
Because of people like you, the bar is rising all the time.
Not at all, not at all. Okay, let's come back. So currently I'm a Scrum Master and aspiring to become a delivery manager. What trainings or things can I do to achieve my aim? Yes. Good one.
Almost similar to what we have discussed, right?
Yes, I'm just waiting if in case anyone else have anything to clarify or add.
So, I mean, this delivery manager role is always about the role of a program manager, right? If I am understanding it in the right way.
That differs from the organization to organization, Ashwin, unfortunately. See, these roles, right? So the organizations differ. If you go for any financial companies like banking streams, right? Their starting designation will be assistant vice president or vice president. So we can't compare the designations from one company to other company. This is all based upon the responsibilities listed under the job description. It might be project manager as well in the organization perspective.
So, Satish and the folks, one thing I can say from a service company's perspective, in certain kind of client, depending on the role that you perform, Scrum Master might anyway be told to do a release management role. So he will take care of the release for that specific value stream or whatever that he is handling. This might be not a great rocket science, because in this case, he might be just a facilitator. Of course, I was just saying when I was doing release management, it was not a rocket science. Simply that I need to set up the forum and the agenda, and then we will have a set of releases going, and I need to make sure people come up and present their things, and we have a board which used to approve the items going for the release, and if not, they need to represent it or they're going to be removed from the release. So more or less, you are doing more like a moderator kind of things, letting people speak and then driving the call. That was much more easier. In addition, especially, at least in my company, they have started something like a learning pathway for delivery managers, engagement managers. And what actually this does is, if you want to go into this line, they have some pathway, means they have some specific courses they have. So you can actually do this program at your own pace, or maybe you can do it at your 3 months, 4 months, so that you can say, yeah, I am this level 1 certified engagement manager, level 1 certified delivery manager, DM, like that. So that might give you a fillip in terms of the fact that, of course, if you come on bench, especially after you get released from project, then maybe if you have done this, then you can say, yes, you are you can be billed for those kind of projects where they're asking the Scrum Master to own the delivery, the Scrum Master to own the engagement, or maybe to be the release manager. Then you can at least say, okay, I have some confidence because I have gone through and done this level 1 pathway or whatever, in terms of release management. This was what my experience has been specific to service company. But product companies, I don't know if they have dedicated pathways or not, but I've also seen cases where, as I said, Scrum Masters branching out, and they are no more actually just the persons who are actually dealing with 1 or 2 teams. They're also the gatekeepers for that release as well.
Thanks, Ambarish. Nice sharings. Right. See, when I used to work for a service company, right? Delivery manager, I mean, in that organization, delivery manager used to be 4 levels above me, and they used to handle almost like 2,000 or 4,000, I don't remember exact count, like 4,000 to 5,000 folks, but different clients. I'm not talking about project, right? Different clients. That is what they used to call it as a delivery manager at that level, at that organization. So now, if that's why my initial I mentioned, like, we need to take a look at the job description and what the delivery manager is all talking about. Sometimes it might be, the organization might be calling it as a release manager or engagement manager, or delivery manager or project manager. It all might be same. The end of the day, there might be a change in the name, but
Some
the
places account
responsibilities,
manager.
exactly, account manager. It might be end of the day, the responsibilities might be remaining same. So just don't go with the fancy titles. Take a look at the clear job description or the responsibilities, what is listed out. Accordingly, you'll get an idea.
And I think, I think transitioning from a Scrum Master to a delivery manager, there are two certifications which will help you. One is PMP, definitely, and second one is IAPM. I forgot the I part, but it's something like Agile Project Manager. I missed the I part. So it is like IAPM and then PMP. These two certification or training can help you to become an effective delivery manager. If just we are asking about the training or certification.
But along with that, I recommend taking a look at like the delta part. What is it as a Scrum Master you're already aware versus what is it the responsibilities of the delivery manager from that organization or role perspective, and what is it required? Like Ambrish mentioned, their company defined the career path. Not every organization might be having that, right? So then my suggestion is like take a look at the delta part. What is it you already aware versus what is it we need to start focusing on? Then start learning or start going through that pointers. These apart from the certifications part.
One more thing I want to add, Satish and folks, is the fact that in these times when things are evolving and changing, we should be a little proactive from our end also. That, for example, if we stay relaxed and content and saying, okay, I'm a Scrum Master for these two teams, maybe you are not doing release manager at all. Maybe your job is only restricted to maybe managing 2 teams or 3 teams. You're doing the Scrum, and you're saying, fine. But you should take more interest and say, okay, for example, do I have a release manager? Let me go and spend some time with him and saying, hey, what are you doing, man? What is this kind of releases? How are you managing it? If they have a technical delivery manager, you can sit with them and say, maybe you know what, I have the aspiration to probably get into this role, what it takes to get into this role. So he will ask you the same question, what are you doing? I'm a Scrum Master, were you technical, non-technical? So those kind of things will actually kind of help you to maybe, you know, like understand that. And not only that, you can also pitch in and say that you need any help tomorrow in managing any releases. Maybe like, you know, you can consider me, I'm interested. So those things also might, you know, like you are going one step ahead, then you're trying to pitch yourself and say, okay, that, you know, if you need some kind of any help in this, I can also do. So that you are getting ready for the future, thinking that you are no more that one-dimensional person, but you're also slowly trying to evolve yourself into a multi-dimensional person by trying to find avenues where you can contribute, by trying to associate with those kind of people who are doing that role, trying to understand that role, and seeing also that maybe if you're off, if you're actually on a vacation or something, you can use me as a backup, and then I will fill in your role as a release manager, or maybe, you know, like I will try to help you as an, you know, like delegate some task to me in terms of delivery. Let me see if I can handle it. So slowly you can gain some experience that way. That will also be making you ready if at all you need to move into this role later. That's also one of the ideas that I can give.
So one follow-up question, Ambrish, you were saying there was some certification you did, right, to become a release manager when you were on bench. What is that organization, or like from which company? PMI, or what is that like?
See, my company is Capgemini. So we have actually this, sort of like delivery manager pathway, then release manager pathway. For example, they're trying to have different pathways for people. That's why I'm saying it's very organization centric.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Hello, everyone. I don't know the name of the person that spoke last. I work for Capgemini as well. So I mean,
wow.
you understand? So I know on the intranet, I've tried to kind of look at the next. I'm sure you must have been aware of next degree. So I've checked it, but there is no training guides on how to become a delivery manager. Because like I can say to a delivery manager's role are in different sets. There's some that are Scrum. They call them, they're actually doing Scrum, but they're not really doing the full delivery manager role. Why some are really doing the full delivery manager role that actually involve costing, facing the client, all those resources allocation and the stuff like that. So hence the reason why I asked the question. I don't know whether you know the parts or where I can check on the Capgemini website, I can find it.
Yeah, maybe we can take this outside this conversation. We can connect and you can let me know and I'll just guide you because it's more specific to our intranet. I can actually show you that.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll take your details down and I'll look out for you on. If you put in your details on the chat, I will look out for you on Teams on Monday.
Okay.
Thank
all right. Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Good. Okay, let's move on. Here comes an interesting question. How AI introduction disrupt Agile Coach or Scrum Master journey in any organization? So I would like to ask a clarification on this question. The question is the AI introduction disrupt? Okay, yeah. I will leave it to the folks who would like to go first. Any of you faced any disruption in your organization by introduction of AI?
PSM certified.
So actually, it's my question here, Satish. Yeah, I mean, everywhere the buzzword is AI, Gen AI, and all, right? I mean, we also, as we attend lot of meetups, conferences, and all, everywhere, I mean, everybody talking. But I come from an health organization, I mean, where we work on US healthcare and also anyway, I mean, we are not allowed to install any AI applications in any of our office laptops. So, but yeah, the curiosity is there. I mean, how does it change? I heard in somewhere, I mean, there is something called digital AI for doing daily stand up and all across geography and all. So somewhere, I mean, it is enabling Scrum Masters and all. I mean, the work they do as, I mean, for all the Scrum Masters and Agile coaches in their journey. But also somewhere it is as an enabler. I mean, it is again a question whether it is a boon or a bane. I mean, again, is it taking off or everyone has that question, right? Is AI taking away the IT jobs or developers in the same way? Whether there will be less demand for Scrum Masters and Agile coaches in the path, I mean, in the upcoming years. So how does AI? Yeah.
No, I just want to say one thing, like the first one in Agile Manifesto is individuals and interactions, right? It starts with individuals. Okay, so if AI comes also, if someone is really doing agility, they will have an individual who is using AI tools. But I think like it, because most of the times we prefer to have that human interaction. I mean, when you talk about Scrum Master or Agile coaches or something, that's what they usually do. So at least for me or from my side, from what I have observed, people are using this AI to enhance the way they are implementing agility. For example, like in Jira, we have got insights and all. And then some organizations have received like co-pilot sort of thing, wherein AI is providing some information from them. And some collaboration tools like Miro. And I think I have used Miro, wherein they bought some AI related stuff there, which has actually created some sort of enhancements in the way you can actually collaborate with the teams and all. So these enhancements can help these guys to implement it. But if that human part is being replaced, then I think like the first point in the Agile Manifesto itself is wrong. Not the first point, I would like to say the first word itself is wrong. Right? So individuals are being replaced, which is not the true spirit. So that's my opinion about it.
Yes,
Yeah,
and I totally agree with Subbu because
Enhance
see,
the way they are implementing it, and then it is definitely bringing a lot of what do you say, creativity in.
yeah, and AI can enhance the role of a Scrum Master,
Actually
right?
help some. Like I helped a Scrum Master in utilizing Miro collaboration using AI things in making a colorful retro, right? So he said like that worked very well. So that's what like you can enhance it, and then probably myself and Satish we took lots of sessions on Jira Insights and other stuff like which is I think like both of them came at the same time. I guess like it is also a product of AI, might be true or not, but yeah. So they are helping the Scrum Masters in making their job easy, but I don't think like AI is the actual reason for replacing the Scrum Masters or Agile roles. That's my opinion. And if
Yeah,
that is being done, then the
yeah,
first word of the Agile manifesto itself is wrong. We have to alternate it like process and tools over individuals and interactions.
and it's more or less, it is not only for Scrum Master.
Yeah,
AI
it's for
is
the
like an enabler, and it is an enabler for all job roles actually.
yeah, it's enabler.
yeah,
We
More,
are
and the human
there are very
aspect,
few roles where AI can replace the humans basically. And that is the reason it is being said that learn how to use the AI, how you can take help from AI to make your job easy and more productive, more efficient. So that's what you very clearly
no,
mentioned, that
it's
interaction.
just like the
Yeah,
Karu guys. I mean, it's just like the Karu guys. I mean, initially when computers were introduced, right, some jobs got lost, but later we got more jobs, right? So now that AI is introduced, we are seeing like probably for the developers and testers, I see like probably they are using co-pilots and all, and then they say like probably the coding time has reduced, and then there is some cut on that and sort of stuff. But later when people start using it, there are multiple ways. Now like probably it becomes a new market, and then probably like then there will be a surge wherein people who knows how to use AI will get more jobs. It's exactly the same thing, like embracing the changes and all, which we have to do at any point of time. So
correct.
I don't see it like a threat, but I mean, I have attended like some outside sessions from growthschool.io or some, and then some other sessions on IO. I mean AI. So where they spoke mostly about the generative AI and lots of tools, at least like 20, 30 tools they spoke about. So all these tools are actually enablers. For suppose I think most of the tools people are using Gamma Dat app, which is providing like a PPT, like you give an input and then it gives PPT. So something like there are like many other tools wherein you give an input and then it creates a video and generates it for you. So there are many tools that way, and also spoke about the research papers on how to use AI to create some research papers and all the stuff as well. Right. So if you just start making use them as an enablers, that will help. But definitely there is uh, the initial impact will be there at any point of time. Definitely there is an initial impact because it is reducing the human effort, and obviously all those things will be replaced. But as people get more and more sophisticated with it, then it will create more opportunities, because now people want someone who want to create an algorithm on base of using AI and all, and that's how like it will grow. Exactly similar to computers. Probably if someone can go back and then look at the papers in 90s or something when computers were introduced, there was a big panic. People were so panicked because literally people lost jobs because all these writing work and all the things has now been like have been started into putting into computers and all. So there was a huge uproar, and then people actually hated it a lot. But later now we know what we are doing with all these computers and all. So similar with AI as well. Initial impact will be there, but then if we are embracing it, definitely there will be a curve, upgoing curve, and at that point of time, if we are ready, it will land us at a better position.
Sumlata, coming back to your question, by any chance your teams are making use of Jira as a tool?
Yes, yes. We use Jira only, but yeah, as I said, no, I mean, we have not enabled any of the AI features so far. because of, security concerns or the data breach, right? Because
Mhm.
we work on US healthcare. So,
Yes.
there is
So,
something GBD data also, where India team will not be able to test on few things also. And that's why we have counterparts in US also. So the team is scattered across, US and India. So that's where, currently, we are
yeah.
not making, we are aware of that AI features are being incorporated in Jira, but we are not using currently.
Oh, okay. It is not yet activated within your organization. Got it. Got it. So, but otherwise, see, within Atlassian, they have brought in like Atlassian intelligence, which we are talking about, that insights and lot of new information. Like we can even Jira can even help to write a JQL, or even help to consolidate the information from Confluence and give a summary report. All those things within Atlassian suite, the Atlassian started bringing it up, right? The same way,
Yes,
there
we
is
know that.
another. Yes, I'm telling you. So the same way, like
Please
there
go
is
ahead.
another premium feature called as analytics, which helps to get the information at the organization level. Like if in case we are following a safe, for example, right? So see, this is how it can help to create the different charts, different reports, different information at even at the enterprise organization level as well. So there is another functionality which was made available by Atlassian team, but this is a paid version, which I guess premium or enterprise customers might be having access to this information. Okay, and this is for everyone. So if in case your organization has access to the Atlassian analytics, try to see if we can explore or if we can make use of that. Okay.
But yeah, as Shumalata has mentioned that AI is a threat, right, for the Scrum
It's not
Master,
a
right?
it's not
But
a threat as such. See, when I will consider it as a threat, not just AI, not just for Scrum Master, right? Anything, any new technology, any new implementation coming up, the threat will be for the folks who are not ready to learn, or who are not ready to stretch and extend their learning or the focus. Right,
yes,
as
and
Subbu was mentioning, if we still say that okay, I will just make use of only the typewriter, I don't want to make use of computer. Yes, you might still go ahead and make use of the typewriter itself, but that might not help in the long run. If not today, maybe a year or 2 years down the line, everyone might start making use of computer. Then we might be the last one to pick up the learning.
yeah, correct. So, Satish, you are absolutely right. But what I'm trying to say here that yes, it is threat to them or the Scrum Master who are only doing the repetitive task or only administrative tasks such as scheduling meetings, tracking progress, or generating reports, right? So definitely they have to change their way of working. They have to focus more on the strategic activities like team coaching and process improvements, right? And we have to, right? Because see, if we will not enhance our capabilities towards this kind of
Mhm.
things, definitely because of we are sitting in the era of automations also, right? So definitely if we are not if we are only restricted to those repetitive tasks, then it's a threat. But if we are making AI as our friends and will enhance our roles, then definitely it will help, because human aspects of coaching such as empathy, relationship building, and understanding team dynamics, right? This cannot be fully replaced by AI.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's why I'm
Yes,
saying we have to make AI as our friends and take
friend,
help and
exactly.
support when it is required.
I saw a video. I don't remember where and which forum. There was a video where the daily stand-up was happening on virtual, of course. So right, so the AI chatbot is the Scrum Master in that context. So the chatbot is asking questions. Sakir, what's your updates, or what is it you achieved yesterday? What is it your plan today? Right. The moment the participant, the team member answered, if in case they said the blocker or something, immediately it picked up and they said, okay, what support you need to get this blocker resolved, or how do you want to focus on getting this impediment removed? If that is the case, if that sort of AI tool was implemented in the organizations, we might not need a specific individual to facilitate daily stand-up, because the tool itself will generate the summary or meeting minutes or action items, and it might even publish an email.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we
Yes.
need to be, so if we start connecting the dots from the first question till now, almost directly or indirectly, every question is focused on what else we have to do, or what is it we need to start focusing on. No role is safe. None of us are safe. That is for sure, I can say. I'm not talking about scale agile. I'm talking about small letters, SAFE. None of the roles are confident, comfortable, saying that I will be continue safely in this role for next 5 years. Even the technical roles are getting disrupted, not just the agile roles. We need to understand that these AI or this disruption is not just happening for the agile roles. The disruption is happening even for the technical roles. Folks who are working on the Python or the DevOps or the different roles, implementations, even they're getting impacted. So it's time for us to see what is it. We come out of the comfort zone and we need to see how we can get that learning aspect, and the way how we started coming together as a community, like helping each other or forming a group and start the group discussion. Yes, let's start do that. Let's continue helping each other and we will go ahead.
Hey, hi,
Yes,
Satish. Sharath here.
Hi, Sharath.
Hey, hi. Yeah, today I'm mostly on and off. So,
Sure.
so I was hearing, this conversation. I just want to share my perspective on this AI. Definitely, roles consolidated over a period of time, right? There's a good reason behind it because people, organizations' expectations are changing, right? Competitors' expectations are changing. And in that context, roles will get consolidated. So that is what is happening with respect to our roles of a Scrum Master and Agile Coach, which in way is a good change because there are some myths like the role of a Scrum Master is so plain that anyone can do. So these kind of things you normally hear in our day-to-day life, right? So it's good in that perspective to get consolidated where they will also get trained on additional skills, or they gain additional skills, which is pie shaped, someone is talking double shape, this shape, that shape. But whatever it is, to the context of the organization, whether we are molding ourselves is the order of the day, right? That is one perspective. Second thing is with respect to AI, till now the sessions that we have attended from my side, organizations are trying to build different models, right, for each concept, whether it can be technical, functional, or any other area. They're trying to build LLMs, and they are at a very starting stage. Some sectors it is in a mid stage or advanced stage. There is something called narrow intelligence, right, generative AI and super gen AI. So I think we are as of 2024, we are at the narrow AI stage where people are still building things, and in that context you might or might not get a complete answer, but a very nearest answer to whatever the tool that you're trying to utilize. That is one context. Second thing is the other day people have shown, right, if you ask AI particular scenario and I want to convert it into epic features and stories, it is converting that, it is assigning the story points depending on the team's engagement they have, right? So all these things AI already started doing it, right? So there some part of the repetitive tasks that we are doing are getting automated to a certain extent, right? And third thing is definitely the ETA will decrease, right? Today, when you are trying to do this grooming, planning calls and all those and try to, once you convert these epic feature stories, you will go for all these ceremonies, right? So all these activities that are involved for a Scrum Master, the ETA which we have today versus following these tools will definitely change. So there will be a quick, a little bit move in the needle with respect to time to market, right? With our small tasks getting automated. So this is how I see it. It is not an immediate threat. Moving forward also, it will be a friend only. But over a period of time, anyone can give more intelligence, right? Build advanced LLMs. That point of time, it will be a challenge because it starts behaving more advanced than us. So this is how I see it. So we need to be prepared for the future, as someone told. With different skill set, we need to get upgrade ourselves. That's what we need to.
Hello everyone. Maybe just want to add something. We need to also consider that it might be expensive for the organization to adopt AI as well, right? So when companies are thinking to have a dual role, dual responsibility as Scrum Master and Agile Coach for single position, thinking about the cost, everything. Maybe adopting AI would also be useful for many companies when it comes to the cost. So this is the thought. Maybe you can if I'm wrong.
Hello.
I thought there is a network issue from my side, but looks like Hari, it is issue from your side.
Hello.
Yes, Hari.
Sorry, I just there was a network issue from my end. I just wanted to have you able to hear my previous words, like when I said
half of it?
Okay. So the thing is, just I want to put here is maybe adopting AI could be also be expensive. That many of the companies may not be able to adopt it. So, thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Okay, and before going ahead, we can, what do you say, Sumalata, we can take it up. Like, if in case your organization is restricting to make use within the organization, right? So you can experiment or you can explore on your personal front, right? So you can make use of ChatGPT or you can make use of a free version of Jira, the way what I'm using right now. So you can play around whenever you have some free time, so that it can help you when you plan or when you switch to some other role or some other organization as such. Right? That way it can help you not to be out of space or not to be not having the, how to say, the hands-on or feel of making use of the AI. Okay.
Sure. I truly agree with that. Yeah, thanks for your
But yeah,
answer.
Sumalata, but in the health industries also they are using like GitHub Copilots, chatbot. They are all started using, right, in the health industries also.
No, that differs, that varies from organization to organization, Sakir. Not every organization is allowing or encouraging. So we need to go with the organization's decision, right?
Yeah, but yeah, I'll say that. I mean, it is not that all organizations are opposing, but there is a separate team for that adoption. I mean, in our organization also, there is a research team which they want to do. I mean, they have special license to use AI applications because, I mean, before moving to the navigating for the org wide. So there is a research team doing, I mean, to build some in-house AI applications, but not everyone is given the chance to, I mean, to adopt AI. That's where I'm coming from.
Sure. Got it. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Do we still want to discuss this? Scrum Master is always end of crossroad with multiple paths to traverse. It adds to confusion. No one has proper guidance.
we have almost covered that in a way. I mean, in a more detailed way.
Okay. Okay. Let's move on. The next question, Hari. How can we arrive at story point?
Can I just wanted to give you overview behind this question.
Sure.
So see, like when we say the story points are abstract, and when I refer the safe book, it says that initially we can compare the story point to a one day. And during my discussion with one of my friends, they said that abstract doesn't mean we cannot compare with the units, but it in general it doesn't have any standard unit. So considering all these points, like how can someone arrive at a story point, like whether one story point or two story point? Thank you.
I mean, I would like to throw in my thoughts on this. So, in general, if you take how a story point is considered or calculated, think of it as a relative term to the team, right? Story point for a specific task is specific to that specific Scrum team. It's not like a universal metric that can be used across teams, because it depends on the team's capabilities as well. Maybe for you to better understand, one example that I generally quote around this is, let's say, cooking. I'm just taking a random example so that we understand this better, right? So let's say we have a person who is a pro chef in a team. For him to, let's say, do all the meal prep, like, let's say, cutting vegetables and all that, he's a pro chef, he can do it in 1 hour. So he'll I'm just giving an example, so he'll say one story point for that. But let's say the another Scrum team, everyone is a novice, they don't have any expertise in terms of cooking, so they'll say it's very difficult task because we have to know how to cut vegetables, what we have to cut and all. So for them it'll be a more complex task, which is the reason they'll quote a higher story point for that, right? So it's all about the perspective, the capabilities, the technical debt that the team has, the maturity the team has. It's a combination of all of these things, that's why it is specific to a specific Scrum team. So, and like I said, this is my opinion of this.
And sorry, to add to that, like he said, it is specific to the team. To further buttress what the last speaker just said, the team in question has to consider the level of risk around the story, the dependencies around the story. Have they worked on the story before? What is the shared understanding that they have around those stories? So team A must have worked on that story before. Maybe they have a firm grasp of that story. So they can size that story as one, for instance. So another team that has not worked on that story and perhaps did not consider the risk, and maybe they have dependencies on another team, and the circumstances surrounding that dependencies they cannot easily mitigate at a moment notice. They would size that same story as 8 or maybe as 3. So it is relative to the team, like he said. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe can I add my view this thing? So this is Prabhakar. So when we are assigning a story point, like generally we have to take 3 things into consideration. So one is like how much knowledge you have around that story or task that you are taking. And second thing is like how much complex is that story. And third one is like how much dependency it has with the other teams or with other stories. So considering all these things, like you can size the story or a task in simple. Hope like this helps.
Hari?
Yes, Prabhakar. Thanks for adding this. But in my question was actually like, see, uh, if a person wants to travel from point A to point B, every member might have a different experience driving through that road. So someone might take a 10 minutes, or someone might take 30 minutes to drive. But overall, the intention of the story point of planning poker is to make sure that everyone has the same understanding of the requirement, whether one has to travel from point A to point B, or they had to take some other path. Right? This is the main motive behind why we are doing this.
Yeah,
But
one thing, Hari, let me
yeah,
interrupt. See, the same story worked by two different persons can it can be two different story points altogether. Suppose a person traveling from A to B daily, he will travel faster than like the person who is traveling for the first time from A to B. Agree?
yes.
It is same distance and the same way. So if there are too many complexities or too many traffic points in between, and again same story points to same from A to B, two persons working cannot be same story point.
Hello.
Okay.
Does that clarify?
Yeah,
Hello.
I'm trying. Yeah, please.
Yeah, hi, this is Sachin Wal. So I have my thoughts over here. Now see, the story points, the relative sizing is done on 3 points. Okay, one is the complexity, efforts, and the unknown gray area. Okay, and it is done by a team consent. It is not done for an individual developer or something. During the poker planning, we assigned, we ask, or we ask the team members to size the story. Okay, and based on everyone's consent, one story point or that particular number, if you are following the Fibonacci series, is assigned to that story. Okay, it is not as per one developer or as per the lead. Okay, so if everyone agrees that this story has this much effort, this much complexity, and this much risk, then they will assign that story point to that story. And in case if there is a difference, then definitely you'll need to ask the justification, as what everyone is aware, right? What for the less points who has given, and for the high points someone has given, and then based on that justification, you can ask the team to resize that story based on the knowledge or the information which is shared by the team members. Okay, and you can also go ahead, like there is a term called baselining of user story. So what is a good practice is, usually you can baseline some of the user stories. Okay, like for 1 pointer and for 5 pointer, you can baseline user stories along with your team. It is not done by any for one developer. Okay, it is from the consent of the team. You can baseline those stories, either 1 pointer and the second one is 5 pointer. And during the next backlog refinement session, once for the new story, you have gone through the ACs, gone through the DOR, gone through what all is expected, what all the scope is there, what all technical depth you have to achieve, or what all you have to DOD for that user story. Based on that, you size that story, and you can definitely ask to the team that from the user story which we have baseline. So is it a 1 pointer or is it a 5 pointer? Because the team has already derived one baseline. So that will be easy for the team to gauge which that story belongs to which bracket. Either it is 1 pointer, 2 pointer, 3 pointer, or 5 pointer, or more than 5 pointer.
So in this way, the team can easily gauge the story points for that story. That is my thought. If
My,
I hope
my
it
thought,
helps.
my thoughts on how can we arrive at a story point number is number one, we need to know the project scope. If we know what we are delivering, then we have to look at the resources. Then we need to look at the rates. Then we need to have an agreement so that you organize a meeting and then having coach your team what the story pointing is all about and ways of what tools you're going to use for your story point, maybe Fibonacci sequence or anything. Then the team will now decide, like everyone has been saying, based on the complexity, based on the risk, the dependencies, and based on the resources. So the team will have to agree what a one story point is about. What is a story point, maybe a story point of 8, what does it entails? What sort of task does it entails? You understand? So it's not something that you can just arrive at. It has to be a joint effort. But as a Scrum Master, before you can arrive at that, I think the best way is to first coach your team what is story pointing, and then let them decide based on the delivery of the task, what amounts to a story point. Do they want to go by Fibonacci sequence or do they want to go by days? Then they have to decide. Then you work it along with them. I think that's what I just want to contribute.
Thank you for adding this. I'm able to take some of the things from your responses. Can I add a follow-up question here on the same, like on the same question, like if when we say story points are abstract, are we able? Should we compare them with the one day or any? Does abstract mean
No.
we shouldn't? Does abstract mean we shouldn't uh, compare it with any units, or we can take it any number?
What's the reason for the comparison, Hari? If I ask that question.
Like if I'm looking to understand, like if we are giving a 1 point, so when can someone able to complete this? I'm able to derive the duration from here.
Can I answer?
Not a
Can I
duration.
answer, Satish, to this question?
Sure. Go ahead.
So Hari, I know if I know you, that I know why from where this question are coming, right? So I will give you a practical example, Hari. That yeah, you are right. That in some organizations we do follow a chart where we have already mentioned that if you are going with one pointer, it should be, it will take only 5 to 6 hours. Or okay, if you are going with the 2 pointers, it will take minimum like 6 and maximum should be 12. Similarly, 3 will go up to 30. So in some organization we do follow this kind of chart. So now during the backlog grooming, when product manager, product owner, or TPM, right, explain the requirements with the help of Figma, right, they ask questions to developer and tester, including all the team members, right, that do you have any questions? Have you understood the requirements? Now the team will say yes, or if they have any questions, they definitely ask. Once we get the confirmation from the development team that yes, they have understood the requirements, then TPM or product owner asks to estimate them. So now developer by then they are already aware that how much times it will take, right, to complete this task or the user story or the requirements, right? Now they will take the help of that chart, right? And then they will estimate, okay, we will go with 1, or we will go with 2, or we will go with 3. So in this way, Hari, we can use that time as well and the estimation with the help of planning poker. Did you get your answer? Have I given you the answer to your question?
Yes, Sakir.
All right, thank
But
you.
just my thoughts over here. So usually the relative sizing is it is done on based on the complexity efforts and the unknown gray area. So it is not tied with the effort or the actual time, because that user story during the sprint planning session event, the user story can be assigned to a kind of senior developer, means who is who is having expertise, and also it can, you can assign that story, or it can be voluntarily picked up by one of the junior developer who will definitely take more some couple of days or more for that development of the story. So are not directly linked to the story points.
Hari, does it answer your question? I know it is not a detailed answer, but yes. Are you good to go ahead?
Yes, Satish. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Two questions together. Maybe we can take it up. Like, what technical knowledge need to become truly relevant, or all of a sudden technology footprints everywhere? What can I learn with less or no coding to stay relevant with technology? Both are similar questions, so you can go together.
So, I mean, staying relevant in terms of technology would again be specific to the role that you are currently in and the organization, right? And in general, it's being relevant technologically doesn't mean you basically know how to write code. It's to understand the nuances of how the technology works, or at least the high level understanding of what is happening in terms of the technical stack that is being used. You know, it's like having that high level 10,000 feet overview of the technology stack or the technologies that are being used, which would at least help you guide the team further. It's not necessary that if there is an issue, you sit with the team, you debug it, or you code it. Sometimes some organizations need you to do that as well, depending on the organization and the role. But in general, it's all about understanding the nuances. It's all about understanding how the technology works, or all the nuances which would help you understand the project more in depth.
Thanks, Vaniteja. Anyone else? Okay, I would say to add on what Vaniteja mentioned, like having an idea of what the team is working on, whether it is a tool, whether it is a technology, whether it is versions or anything as such, is a minimum expectation from any of us or from all of us. So what if like your team comes back and say, Satish, like we are trying to integrate with this AWS cloud, it is not working. We don't need to know why it is not working, but at least we need to know what the team is conveying to us. We say Scrum Master, as a Scrum Master or as a product owner, I mean the Scrum Master especially, like we resolve or we do the impediment, right? So we need to take care of the impediment. So without we knowing what it is, what the team is trying to convey, how do we help the team? Right? So there is a reason any organization expects the basic idea of the technology or the terminology as such. So if on a scale of 1 to 5, I would say at least 1 as a starting point for any of the roles. And if it is a technical role, now many organizations are asking a technical project manager, technical program manager, or even the scrum master, technical scrum master, technical what to say, even the RT roles or agile coach roles also they're asking technical. When the word technical is added, which means it should be at least 4 out of 5, if not 5 out of 5. We might not have to do the debugging or implementing, but it might be expectation of the organization to get that resolution or at least help the team to get it done. That might be the expectation from the organization. So understanding the organization context, what they are looking for, why they are looking for the technical terminology. It's not just for the namesake, right? So we need to figure out, or we need to understand what that is about. And accordingly, we need to start working on that. And again, when you say technical, there are multiple things. We might not be able to learn each and everything. We need to start figuring out at least like the Gen AI or any ML or anything related projects. Maybe Python might be a good start. Start going with that, the Python basics. And there are multiple courses on Udemy or anything. Just don't go with the course. Do the hands-on learning practice as well. That is what it helps. Otherwise, again, it will become just a namesake course. No, which is not the expectation. And how we get to know what we have to focus on? Start having a conversation with the team. If the team is focusing on Java or cloud or any terminal, any technology, start with the team where we are working currently. That will help to get that done. Okay, are you good?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
grand. That's grand. Thank you.
Good. Okay, so I'm answering. Okay, the next one. Sometimes service companies are pushing SM to move into engagement manager roles due to lack of SM openings while on bench. This makes employees to sacrifice their aspiration for getting billing solution. We discussed all major of it, but yes. Anyone want to add any pointers?
On a lighter note, take it up as a challenge, because
exactly.
yeah, you should always be relevant to the market, right? So let's say if you just stuck up on your role, or if you say I'm not open for change, you're trying to close up your avenues as to how you can progress in your career. So the best case scenario is to take it up as a challenge, and if you don't do well, that's okay, but it'll be a good experience for you, where you can learn new things and where you can explore different avenues for you to grow in your career.
Yep. So yeah, I can whatever I say, whatever I mentioned for another kind of question, the same stands relevant for this also. That I would suggest not to stop just with the role that we are doing, but also like even if we are actually told to do this role. For example, when I was mentioning that Scrum Masters are in some cases they will have to own the delivery or the release, or they will not get that opportunity, and they might will have to work only with the team. It's fine, but still, if they don't get the opportunity and if they still work within their teams, they can still like try to find out what's happening outside their zone in terms of release management, delivery management, or even if they have, for example, like a engagement or a project manager. It's nothing wrong in trying to ask their time and trying to see what they are doing, just to spend some time and try to gain some curiosity, because you will never know, because these are all interrelated roles in the current context. and you might never, I mean, you might never know that, these kind of things might, as I said, add additional skills which might come in handy. Not for today. You might say, okay, Phil, I'm still a Scrum Master. Why should I go and talk to an engagement manager? But just to understand, and maybe if you can do it when you are in a project working as a, not in that role, that will be an ideal situation for you to learn that. Why? Because by the time, if you are actually learning that from, an experienced engagement manager, and already you are trying to get some 15-20 minutes from him learning something, or if you can ask him, can you point me to some trainings or something online or something to learn about this, and you can see him what he does on a daily basis. If he explains to you slowly, that might interest you, that you might also get that feeling that, oh, you know what, not only Scrum Master, but I'm also interested in maybe that kind of a role like an engagement manager. It doesn't look like rocket science. So tomorrow you yourself will pitch in for that additional role and say that, if I do, my first preference is Scrum Master, but if I don't get that, I'm okay. I can even do an engagement manager. Why? Because you are not content just performing your role. You are very curious. You sat with the person doing the other role, try to understand, gain his time, maybe tell him to show you what he or she was doing, and that helped you to gain that knowledge. So I think that's very imperative. Even if we are in our project, or whether we come on bench or something, it's always good to be curious and try to see, because in this context, like I said, you might never know that, you might be pushed into it, or even if you like it, maybe in that kind of an additional role, you might yourself pitch in to probably move out. And if you see that there is not many openings in the role what you're doing, because of the fact that you saw the other role and you felt you can do it, and you can actually take it up and be ready for it.
Thanks, Amrish.
Yep.
And this was one of the approach which I followed in my previous organization. Right. So whenever luckily that time there we have the career paths, everything listed and made available in the within the organization network, where I can take a look at my current role versus the next roles until the top of the hierarchy. At the same time, my current role versus the next other streams like the development or the consulting or sales or marketing, HR, or even any other stream as well, equivalent to that current role. So that way, I used to explore around what could be the relevant skills which I have to focus on, and what is the next thing which I need to have a conversation with my manager in my quarterly connect. That is what I used to do. And because this, we never know when we might get moved out of the engagement or the project, right? The project might be there, but the client might be there. Or what if the client all of a sudden moves out of the engagement? Or what if the project might get closed or shut down or move to some other vendor, right? There might be multiple things happening. So don't wait until the last moment. Rather, start looking at it, start exploring what else we need to start focusing on to move into the next role. That is what my 2 cents. So net, the continuous learning and the focus of what next we need to, each of us need to take a look at. That's what the whole conversation, today's conversation, is surrounded around, if we closely observe.
Yeah, I mean, just to add to it, Satish, is very important word is curiosity, which has become more like a basic expectation now. So being curious about it, and again, we are trying to break the walls or the silos. So that will have to be the case, because if you are if you probably, I mean, there was actually a time when people were doing this only when they were seeing a pressure, or for example, if they had the aspiration. If not, they used to be content and saying, yeah, I'll just be in the same role, and then why should I ask? But now it has come to a stage where that curiosity is a big, it's actually a basic expectancy where you need to be aware of what other roles people are playing, and which are your potential possibilities to evolve. And when you actually can look at it and saying, okay, I can go from here to like somebody was saying, I can go from A to B, from A to C, from A to E, like different things. Why not, like, let me connect with this all different people in different roles and try to see what it is. Maybe you might sync a chord with a project manager, or maybe an engagement manager, or maybe a release manager. So you get to know this, and you never know, it might take you in a different direction. And like I said, you might even be ready for the evolving stages of the market, just because of the fact that you have interacted, and maybe you have, being proactive and spent your time to try to learn that, or maybe being curious about that new role, that you no more look at it as, an elephant in the room, that is like, something scary or something which, I'm being pushed into it. What is it? I don't know. Rather than the fact that you've already been, trying to look at it like, probably tomorrow I might not be in the same role because of the current market conditions. So what else can I do in order to stay relevant, and what other different skills can I pick it up? That it no more looks like an elephant in the room, because you have gotten yourself used to it by this conversations, or maybe your practical experience, or maybe, like trying to take some little bit of load and trying to work around and experiment with it. That is what I would say is a very good way to approach it.
Thanks, Amrish. And just to add on, like we typically used to say T-shaped skills for the team members. Now it came to us, T-shaped skills for Scrum Masters, Agile coaches, or every other role. We need to start focusing on T. And we are discussing in other forum, like it's not just T, it should be either W or E or M, whatever the shape, which means like not just one single specialization. We need to start experimenting and exploring how we want to expand our skill set. When you say expand, just not like that, make sure like having it done, right? So again, doing certifications alone might not help. We need to start focusing on how we can get it done.
And just to add on top of all of this, even the industry is evolving as such, where multiple roles are being combined into a single role.
Yes.
Right. So we would always have to keep our avenues open and always be ready to jump at the first chance we get to take up new opportunities and take it up as challenge and try to expand our skill set. Sometimes it might be the other way around as well, right? You might be knowing, let's say, how to do a release management, but let's say if your organization is not having that role currently, that might open up a new avenue for you where you can go ahead and pitch it to your organization that we can do this differently, we can do this in a different fashion, and that will also help you grow. So it's always be ready for change and always keep looking for opportunities and jump at the first chance you get, and don't just wait and see. Let's don't weather it out, like always be the first person to jump the ship, and then try and go ahead and grab the opportunity at the first chance you get, so that it'll open up a crazy amount of avenues which you might not even have thought about.
Okay. And just a while ago we answered this question, what skills do we need to improve, or even now we are discussing the same, do we need to improve as Scrum Masters to remain effective in the current environment? We need to make sure, focus on what is that the required, or the requirements or expectations of the organization from the current role versus the next set of roles, just now as Ambarish and Paniteja was mentioning, to see how we can leverage and make use of those opportunities coming our way. And will AI potentially replace our jobs? Might not be, but we need to make use of AI to our benefit as a what do you say? AI is not a competitor. Instead, AI is complementing us in making use of the opportunities. That is a tool specific or role specific. We need to start focusing on how we can make use of the AI within our context.
AI might not replace your job, but a person who knows how to use AI better than you might replace your job. So we should
Exactly.
always be ahead in that rat race and try to make ourselves abreast of all the things that are happening, so that we'll be that person who can replace others and not the other way around.
And we did, as part of SSAG groups, we did a couple of sessions on AI, AI within Jira, and AI using ChatGPT, how product owners, Scrum Master can make use of ChatGPT or AI tools for making our role effective. So we can take a look at that in the YouTube channel, and we can. There's again the starting point, right? We can't say that those 1 hour or 1.5 hour session covers everything. There's a starting point to learn or to initiate that thought, how we can make use of it. Okay. Okay. Any?
Can we
Okay.
can we paste that YouTube link, Satish, for the new users
Sure.
or new team member?
Sure. Let me bring that up. In the meantime, if we have any questions or anyone wants to add any points, you can.
And everyone has been talking about the benefits of AI, but we should also be considerate, and maybe this is a larger conversation that needs to happen, and just few folks discussing would not make any difference. But what's a downside of that is also something we would have to consider, discuss, and then, because even using that responsibly is also equally important, not just in terms of the harm that it can cause. It is also about the environmental impact that it has. Even during the SSAG cognition, we had a few discussions around this, where people were talking about the amount of water that is used for a single prompt that is hit by a person. So similar fashion, what impact does it have on the environment, and how to responsibly use it? So these are all larger conversation that everyone needs to actively participate in and try to get abreast of all the new latest trends that are happening, and try to get yourself involved in all of these conversations, so that it can be effectively implemented across. Even today there are a lot of industries where it is legally banned to use AI, because there are real life implications of many of the industries or products that we work on. Even the AI compliance regulations that are coming up, the EU regulations, all of these things are in a very nascent stage, and we are still, even we don't know what is the actual capability of the tool that we are building. So we would have to be very cautious about what we are doing, how we are doing it, but at the same time we should not weather it out, or we should not say we will see, then you will be part of that history. So it's a balance that we would have to maintain to make sure we are progressing in the right direction.
Thanks, Vandreja. Okay, nice discussion, nice conversation. So before we wrap up, yes, Madhu.
Yeah, so usually when every Sunday this session will be there, or how often we'll meet?
This Lean Coffee Connect is once a month. Right,
Okay.
either first Saturday or second Saturday, based upon the availability, like we are scheduling it. So, but we are trying to bring up other conversations on a regular basis. we are working on that. But this Lean Coffee Connect, the open conversation which we are having right now, is once a month.
Cool. Sure. Thank you. Because first time I'm joining. So
sure. Thanks for joining.
So any group as such for this, or how do I next time? Because Suma had forwarded me this one, but
okay.
Will there be any reminder as such we'll get, or how is it?
Yes, Sharath shared the link of the WhatsApp groups. You can join the relevant groups. Yeah,
I can. Please share it, please, if you don't mind.
Sure. You can share it again. So yes, again, thanks for joining, and we can. There are different WhatsApp groups which can help. Different topics, different conversations as well. Right? You can join relevant groups. Both we have WhatsApp and Telegram groups. So make use of it.
Sure. And, who will be sharing it actually?
I just know I shared in the Zoom chat.
Right? Oh, okay. Yes. Let me see.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. And a couple of pointers. Upcoming in-person events. PMI Gallery is coming up on 20th July. Regional Scrum Gathering in Hyderabad is happening on 15th and 16th November. So there is one super early bird sale is still going on for Regional Scrum Gathering. If in case any of you are interested, you can take a look at it and you can register before tomorrow, because the price will go up to early bird price from Monday. So there is a currently some sale is going on. Unfortunately, the 10% additional discount we got for SSAG cognition that was done by 30th June itself, but the super early bird still is there. There is about the in-person event and virtual events. We as SSAG Gurus, we are planning to bring not the events as such, but the learning activities or learning aspects as such. The safe mentoring cohort is what we are planning to. We are supposed to start by Q2, but for various reasons, because of the cognition planning and exhibition as well, we had to delay it. Safe mentoring cohort is what we are planning to initiate. Most probably by next week, you will hear some update on that. And the Scrum, Kanban, hands-on and simulation, and the safe mentoring cohort and hands-on simulation might go hand in hand, both in Q3 and Q4. That is the plan from our side, from SSAG Gurus. So take a look. I mean, keep watching the space in the WhatsApp groups. We will share the details, the agenda and the schedule, everything. We will share it. Okay. Yes. Yeah. We are at the top of the hour, but yeah. Oti, you raise your hand. I don't know your full name.
Yes. Hello, Satish. That's a quick question. When are you likely to look into this training? Say introduction to SAFe? Or
we might start by first week of August, because maybe last week of July or first week of August, we will share the details. And
okay, you mean for the introduction to SAFe Agile?
Yes, introduction to overview of SAFe. We are still coming up with how many sessions we might need to cover, what should be the agenda, how we plan the hands-on activities, everything. So we'll share all the details. It is not a certification course, just to clarify. It is all
I know. Just to close the knowledge gap.
Exactly. The understanding, explaining the concepts and make the actual one product end-to-end hands-on implementation. That is what we are planning for.
Okay, thank you. Because I noticed most of the people in India, they all have knowledge of SAFe.
Okay. Where are you based out of, by the way?
I'm based in UK, United Kingdom.
UK. Okay, then we will plan sometime in the afternoon or evening so that even you can join.
Yeah, so this time is okay. Maybe the timing of this link office seems okay because it's like 4 o'clock UK time.
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll send the details of the schedule as well.
Okay, thank you, Satish.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. Any last minute thoughts or the feedback before we wrap up?
I just want to say thank you for this session and for the WhatsApp group as well. It's really very insightful and very impactful. So I've really gained a lot in this my Scrum Mastery role. So it's like I'm reading all the conversation there. So I'm really enjoying it. Thank you.
Thanks for that. Anyone else before we wrap up?
Very good session, Satish, as always. And the one thing I like is because all of this is done without any commercial returns, So the whole intention is basically to help the community and then try to see, how the market is and try to have the empathy for others and try to help whatever knowledge that we give to others in terms of true mentoring. So I like that whole concept and the initiative with which this is being done. Because you can easily commercialize it, but that is not the intent. The intent is about the knowledge should reach a lot of people and to empower a lot of people, because it's all about we help someone. It's more like karmic cycle, right? So the fact that you help someone to get the help in return. So I think in that way, I think both you and Sharath have been doing a lot of these things and the initiatives, and it's pretty commendable. So that's what I can say from this experiences. And all the best, and continue to inspire people like us.
Definitely. Thanks for all the feedback on. It is all about the community end of the day, right? So without all your involvement and engagement in interaction, we can't make it happen. So thanks for that. Definitely, we will see what best we can do with all the support and the guidance and involvement as well.
Sure.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, bringing such a wonderful and talented groups, right, on such a great platform. I think it's across globe now, right? So kudos to you, Satish, to you and Sharath. Really, thank you so much for giving us such kind of platform to share our thoughts and best practices, and providing us so much in-depth learning. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you, and have a nice weekend. Thanks, Sakir and Umesh, for your feedback on the chat as well. Sri Ramalu. So have a nice weekend, and we will share the recording most probably by tomorrow. And link for SU also will be sending out to your registered email address. Scrum Education Units, in case any of you are having any Scrum Alliance certification. 2 SUs, we are all eligible. So you will be getting the link over the email for your registered email address. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care.